Welcome back to another episode of our Dinner Party podcast. I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Keith.
We're the podcast that covers topics that you can cover later. I nearly botched that, but it's because I'm so excited to talk about this topic today. Are you ready?
Let's go.
It's an update on Luigi Mangione. I got it for you. All right, this from, I believe, CNN. Luigi Mangione traveled from Georgia to allegedly stalk and kill United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, RIP, and said he targeted the healthcare industry because, quote, it checked every box. One of a number of entries in a notebook in which the suspect discussed the plot in the weeks before the brazen crime, according to a federal criminal complaint. So as a reminder, this guy made a manifesto, basically. So we're finally kind of getting entries out of the manifesto. Luigi was hit with federal charges this Thursday that included stalking, a firearms offense involving a silencer, and murder through use of the firearm, a charge that makes him eligible for the death penalty. So kind of a big deal for our boy. According to the complaint, an entry marked August 15th, 2024 said, quote, the details are finally coming together and, quote, I'm glad in a way that I've procrastinated because it allowed me to learn more about acronym for Company One. So that's straight out of his manifesto. In an entry marked October 22nd, 2024, the writing said, quote, 1.5 months. The investor conference is a true windfall. And most importantly, the message becomes self-evident. Later on in the entry, the pages describe an intent to whack the CEO of one of the insurance companies at its investors conference, the complaint said. Mangione made up his initial appearance in federal court in Lower Manhattan on Thursday afternoon and answered yes to several questions by the judge. Mangione, wearing chinos, a white shirt, and a black quarter zip, so classy, appeared docile and stone-faced at the defense table, which is a bit different than we've seen him out in public recently. Mangione's New York lawyer, Karen Friedman Anfilio, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Anfilio, I don't know, said her client was prepared to appear in state court and complained the federal charges were sprung on them. This is a highly unusual situation we find ourselves in, she said. I have never seen anything like that. His lawyer said that her client was prepared to appear in state court, but this is a highly unusual situation we find ourselves in. I think I'm repeating myself there. She essentially went on to say that they're kind of ready for it, and that some of the, I guess, like charges kind of contradict because one is stalking. The other one says that he was like planning this situation to occur like to a group of people. So I don't know. There are some contradicting pieces here. But
so wild that they charged him with federal crimes. Like,
yeah.
How is this a federal crime?
Because it's because of the manifesto, because it expressed hostility towards the health insurance industry and wealthy executives in particular. So being that, it's like it's crossing state borders because he was looking. So that, I guess that's also what the point of the lawyer is. I'm missing that quote. So obviously if you just listened, I duplicated myself there. But one is saying like he was targeting a group of individuals. The other one said that he stalked. Because he's like stalked Brian, right? Our boy Brian?
Yeah.
Brian Thompson. So it's like, was he after the whole group of them? Was he after Brian? But I think because these are national companies and it looks like he was looking after the company, you could go federal crime rather than a crime in New York. Now, that being said, I'm not a lawyer. And his lawyer seems... I mean, he's got one, so he can't be a hopeless case here. But the excerpts I read from the manifesto, kind of interesting. Like, he really did put a lot of thought into this and research, which is always concerning that somebody could be doing that.
I mean, if you're going to kill someone, you might want to think about it.
I mean, there's a lot of really bad killers. You know, stay stupid, though. I don't want good killers. I don't want killers to be like, so that's how you do it. You bide your time and slowly pick up put together a dossier and then execute. Does make me wonder if conferences are going to get smaller, though. Perhaps no conferences for the CEOs. They get Zoom calls now, and the rest of us can go to New York City conferences.
I
Not that I
did
want
just
to.
read something yesterday about how some company like canceled all their in-person executive meetings and they're all Zoom calls now.
The amount companies are about to spend on reviewing the security for their CEOs and C teams, like large companies, obviously, that's going to skyrocket. I think. I honestly think we're going to slowly see a surge in private security anyway, not just here, certainly here. But I think if we did research, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't already have more wealthy individuals searching into private security again, like long before this. I think especially whether you stand for or against defund the police, if you were an executive in one of those areas, there's no way you probably didn't already buy yourself some private security. But I think this definitely will inspire people to, I don't know, spend a little bit more, get a little bit more crafty in that area.
Yeah, maybe it depends on what type of industry your business is in that you're the CEO of. I mean, I'm sure somebody's mad at every company, but I mean, I just read today that
Boeing.
some person in Texas just murdered his coworker because of how long he was taking lunch break.
That's not funny, but I feel that ways. I feel that pain sometimes. Can we talk about some coworkers? Some of us are good at remote work and, being flexible if you constantly work remote, like in the sense that it's like you might be available during odd hours, but you also have the ability to kind of like step away from your office. Maybe you answer something from a phone and then you get back to it. I don't know. But some people are not good at that. Some people are not good at the balance. They cannot handle the freedom.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't worked in an office since before COVID, so early 2020.
It's funny. I didn't start working in an office until COVID hit.
Yeah,
COVID brought me into office.
we're opposites.
Yeah. I think I'm opposite of like everyone in the world, to be honest. I don't know how that happened, but that's what happened to me.
Well, I guess my job we're not remote because of COVID. We were remote before COVID. It just changed companies right during COVID.
So kind of similar. Like I owned my own company, but I had a client and that I went in-house for. And so I ended up being in an exempt position in the state of California. And so we went into office. And so COVID brought me into office where everyone else went home. But I am just saying, like, there are people where you would never know the difference. Things go seamlessly. And then there are people where I'm like, girl, you get an extra day at home. Like, as in you get an extra weekend day. Like you got like a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
That being said, don't shoot your coworkers.
No, don't.
Don't screw them. Don't shoot them. Maybe don't I don't know.
It's
Like leave food on their desk. I don't know. Something else.
or eat their lunch.
Yeah, don't eat their lunch either. Don't do that. Just like treat them like normal. Or just don't talk to them.
Yeah.
Also that. Let them fail.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a route to take.
Yeah. My take on remote work in general is like, I care if you don't like to come to work in the sense that you're like unhappy, but I do not care if you don't like to work, as in you will not do your job.
Okay. So you're pro, they can work from the office or at home, right?
I would like people to have hybrid flexibility. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a nice balance.
But if they don't just like to work at all, shame on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it's like that. Then your problem is not actually the like flexibility. Your problem is that you either don't like the job you have, in which case go find another one, or perhaps like your lifestyle doesn't match what you want. So you might actually have to work harder, or I don't know, get hit by a bus and become rich, right?
Yeah, there's always risk involved in that approach.
Yeah. Because like, I don't know who that guy in Texas was. That really stinks that he's dead now. Condolences to that family. But if he had survived, he just probably wouldn't have ended up going back to work, got some money somewhere, right?
Yeah, let's.
I definitely sue the company because, like, how'd that guy get a gun in the office?
I'm gonna have to look this up real quick. Texas.
I'm gonna bring us back to Luigi.
Yeah.
He's the assassin that America fell in love with. I think there's a really good chance we're going to not fall in love with Luigi anymore. I don't know that people have to feel any sort of way about Brian Thompson. It's obviously sad two kids are without a father now. That's horrific. But it will be interesting to see if public perception of Luigi changes. I think just the quotes alone are kind of eerie. I think it is creepy that someone, like, to your point, it's because he was apparently good at being an assassin, or maybe he's bad because he got caught, so maybe it doesn't matter. Put a lot of work into it. That's sort of terrifying. So it is interesting to kind of see behind the mind of a killer. But I just think as we get further into Luigi's situation, I don't know. I think America might fall less in love with him, but be equally as intrigued by him. I think he's going to be like a Menendez brother situation. People have found him good looking. He's from a wealthy family, and he snapped. That is the making of an American horror story.
Yeah. It'll be on Netflix soon enough.
Coming to a small screen near you.
So I just read about this man who killed his coworker. This is crazier than I thought.
Okay. Hit me.
Yeah. So he's 51 years old, accused of killing her because he was obsessed with her. And he was angry that she was taking long work breaks.
So like he hated the time away from her.
Yeah. He killed her at her desk.
Well, nobody deserves to die like that.
No.
At least die on vacation.
He told detectives that he was obsessed with her and began getting ever increasingly angry by her taking what he considered to be unauthorized long breaks during work hours, as well as not paying any attention to him.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
I wonder if she talked to any of her friends. She was like, there's this creepy guy at work.
He told the detectives that his coworker intentionally avoided him once she returned to work, which fueled his anger even more. He said he had brought guns to work on several occasions, but didn't do anything because it didn't feel like the right time.
So he found the right time. That's so scary. I actually dealt with a stalker in college, like follow me home at night sort of person, follow me everywhere, sit on classes that he wasn't in. And that was nerve-wracking, to say the least. He never threatened me, but he did have like contact with people I had like class with. And I think they got like, I don't know, he was just obviously creepy about me. And I will never be able to thank the girl who brought it to my attention enough. Because without her, I wouldn't have been able to protect myself, basically.
Yeah.
And I just think that's really creepy. It happens to both men and women. In this case, it's obviously a man. But like stalking is scary. And I think so many times people take it very lightly. We used to use it as slang, right? You saw somebody too many times, you'd be like, oh, you're stalking me. But it's a really serious crime. And I think no matter the damage, I don't know,
I just realized this says it was published on October 22nd. So I don't know why we're just not hearing about it. Maybe he talked to the police and they got this new information. I don't know. I just saw this today, though.
Maybe he's going like to prison. Like obviously court dates can take a while to get.
This was
the process came to a completion or something.
From KBTX news station in Texas.
Solid. I think that's an NBC affiliate.
Looked like it was a CBS.
JK.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that I think brings us to the end of our Luigi Mangione update. Stay tuned if there is ever a Mario involved. You'll be talking about this on your next dinner party. Oh, show.